service agencies. And so when we get legislative proposals, especially like pending legislation that would change current law, we will work quite closely with the agencies to get their input on that. And you know, clearly that could create a conflict of interest. Perhaps they want us to believe something about a program. I mean, we like to, I mean, my agencies I definitely give the benefit of the doubt to, and sometimes you can tell when they don't want to tell you something, but you know, you gotta, there's kind of a litmus test there. And
the CBO job, in a lot of ways, is almost like an investigative reporter, because you got people that might provide information from, say, a legislative affairs shop or something like that, and they may not like the policy or really like the policy. So you have to kind of filter information. I'm sorry to jump in.
No, that's fine. Please feel free. Craig was here before, so and, you know, he knows the job well.
Not only are you talking to the agencies, but you may be talking to the folks that are being regulated to see how they think the policy may work. So, you know, you may be talking to the Department of Energy or EPA or something about some water programs, and also talking to the utilities as well.
And we talked to the committee. The committee clearly has one idea, and they have intentions for how that legislation should be done, but the agency says, well, if this passes, we will do this. I mean, congressional intent doesn't matter. It's what the language actually says. And so we try and get, you try and get a lot of different perspectives, and that's how you come up with your estimates. So, go ahead.
Are there any political appointees in CBO?
The director is politically appointed. He's appointed by the president pro tem and the speaker of the House, but that's based on the recommendation of the chairs of the budget committee. And it's a 4-year term. I think I don't know if there are term limits, but someone's been here more than one.
Yeah, it hasn't been often that they repeat another term, at least not recently. So.
The director is the only political appointee. The rest of us are here based on merit. Yeah, we serve at the, I mean, we're not on GS, we are in a different category, and we're here. If the director doesn't want us to be here, we're not here anymore. All right? Yeah.
Just quick. How often do your estimates are significantly different than OMB's estimates? And what the magnitude of that, and what happened is something completely different, like what OMB's estimate and yours in terms of policies and your vision is completely different. What happens?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough question for me to answer, because my programs, in fact, all of my agencies are really a rounding error for something like defense or Medicare. I mean, in terms of magnitude, there are times where I'll be a couple $100 million off. That's nothing for some agencies, for some programs. And usually the farther off we are, the better we need to feel about why we're off. I mean, we have to explain why our differences to our bosses, our directors. CBO releases that, and then we have to be able to explain it to the committees and to the committees on the budget. I mean, we have to be able to justify why we're so far off. So sometimes, I don't know, I mean, you had bigger programs. Did you ever have $1 million differences?
I've had multi-million-dollar differences, but you put it in context of the overall size of, say, the transportation programs, the differences aren't that large. And, you know, both CBO and OMB are trying to predict what the outlays, what the actual spending will be. So they both may be off. It's just that when you look at them side by side, CBO may have a higher estimate for spending for the transportation program based on historical spending patterns. A lot of times we look at how programs have spent over, say, the last 20 years, and we say we think there's a pattern here. There's a construction season, and maybe this spring, summer, maybe there's just permitting and environmental work done in the fall, winter. So we can kind of see that there's a seasonality to how programs spend. OMB may have some particular information that that this program won't go online, or this road project isn't meeting all the different reviews it has to go through, so they may decide to slow down spending some. So there could be small differences based on the kind of information that OMB will have, or the Department of Transportation will have. CBO will try to get that same information, but I would say the differences usually aren't incredibly large. I'm sorry.
You know, one good example of where I had a huge difference is I work on the Corps of Engineers, and New Orleans and Hurricane Katrina are huge issues for this administration and for the Congress. And so